because once you're exposed to certain things, you can't go back. The only way you go back to the familiar is because you have decided to go back to the familiar. So exposure is huge. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Her Uniqueness. If you're new here, my name is Nina. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. If you're returning, thank you for your support. Let's get straight into today's video. So it looks a little different, right? Yes. So I am introducing a new series called Soul Session. So why did I decide to introduce this series? Because I have been feeling like my content is missing something. And to be truly honest with you, that thing is me, is the whole me. I feel like I have only been showing you guys a part of me, but there is so much to me than just what I'm showing. The real reason why this platform was built or was created or birthed was because I wanted to build a community where we elevate each other, we support each other, we can have any old conversation. Don't get me wrong, I love fashion, I love the self-care videos because they are part of me. They are part of my daily routine and my weekly rituals. I love the travel videos, right? I haven't dropped any recently, but I love the opportunity to travel and to learn new culture, try new recipes, and all of that. But there's so much more to me because at my core, I'm a woman of faith. And every decision that I've made to this point is because of the guidance of the Holy Spirit. And I want to be able to infuse that into my platform. One great example of community is on my recent video, my self-care video, someone put a comment and recommended a product. I bought the product. I've added the product to my makeup palette and I've used it and it's been good. This is the reason why I created this platform. So Soul Session is an opportunity for us to talk, to discuss every and anything, an opportunity for us to build one another up. So let's get into today's Soul Session episode. So I have made a huge transition, or I've taken a huge leap of faith recently by moving from the DMV area to Texas. Let me tell you something. It has been a transition. It might not show up in content, but it truly has been a stretch. Moving to Texas has been a, a goal, a journey building up in the background. I have been waiting on God to give me the green light for me to be able to take this step because wherever you go, wherever He takes you, He will provide and He will protect, and His grace will be with you. And I never want to be outside of His grace. So I took the big leap, but with the big leap, comes on the unknown, the uncertainty, and moments where you question yourself and wonder, did I make the right decision, right? I'll tell you the truth, it has been a tough season. A tough season, it has been a stretching season. But in the midst of all of this, I've learned so much about myself personally. I have grown in my emotional capacity, my emotional intelligence. I have been learning the balance between faith and ambitions, right? This is not my first time making a move. I've moved across the country before, but this time around, I've moved alone. So I have a friend here, but she's a little bit further from me. So community is a very important to me. Having a tribe is important to me. Most of my friends and family are across the country. It used to be me being able to drive to them, take a train to them, to now having to take flight to them. But thank God for technology where I'm able to communicate with them, I'm able to FaceTime, I'm able to chat, and I love them so much because I've gotten random message or random love notes to encourage me to say, girl, you have taken a huge leap of faith. You are trusting God and we are behind you. Others will remind me, you can't quit because quitting is not part of your vocabulary, girl. They said the reason why you took that leap of faith, you have to accomplish that in order for you to see the fruit behind it, right? And you can't come back home unless you accomplish that. So I'm truly grateful for my community. But that doesn't take away from the lonely moment. But I know that I'm not alone because I'm with God. Let's talk about the glows and the lows. So the glows of this leap of faith has been the excitement of stepping into something new, a new season, the excitement of exploring a new place, a new state, a huge state at that, right? A state where there are numerous huge cities, right? So I'm in the DTS, Dallas, Texas, and I'm getting to learn the area. I'm getting to learn the do's and don'ts of here, the laws and the policies. I'm getting to get to know other people. I'm getting to step outside of my comfort zone, right? I'm getting to explore new restaurants. I don't know about you, but when I get to a new city, I usually have a template in my phone with a list of things I want to do, from activities, from restaurant to try, from spa and different things. And you know what? TikTok has been really helpful. I did that when I was in the DMV area, and it was so amazing because I accomplished at least 90% of the things on my list, and I have a huge list. But also I was familiar with the DMV area, so it was an easy it was an easier transition. Here I'm also building my new tech pack, I would say, of exploration, and it has been good so far. Building a community has been hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first moved to the DMV area, I made a specific prayer and I asked God for two friends. So I told God I wanted two friends, and I was very specific and very thorough in my request, and I made those two friends, and they were divinely orchestrated by God because I'm still friends with those people today. One of them I met her on the app Bumble BFF, and the other one I met her in my apartment complex. But outside of those two, I've met other people through them, which is now more than two people, right? I've built a community that are so supportive of me, and I'm so grateful for them. But here I tried the same method and it didn't work out. It failed miserably. So I went back on the app and I attempted to meet people, and the response were not what I was expecting. And I was just like, okay, God, that's a redirection. That's you telling me this is not the time. That's you telling me that I need to focus on myself. I need to focus on settling. I need to focus on the projects that I have. I need to focus on my career. I need to focus on the things that I need to do. Even with that understanding and that kind of wisdom, it still left its sting in me, right? But I know that since I've been here, I know that I am here to put root down. This is not a transient city for me, right? So I know it's going to take time. And through this transition, I have learned to be more patient. I have looked back and or looked at certain situation. I'm like, how are you so calm right now? Because Nina a year ago would have like lost it. And don't get me wrong, I had many moments where I wanted to crash out, literally crash out. And I will call my friends and I'll say, listen, I'm losing it right now. They're like, okay, you're not losing it, it's all right. So I created a new list of very specific list of the community that I'm looking for. And what I'm looking for this time is the same thing that I've been praying for, but more specifically, people that will allow me to grow, people that will teach me things, people that will allow me to expand and open my eyes to new things, right? Because once you're exposed to certain things, you can't go back. The only way you go back to the familiar is because you have decided to go back to the familiar. So exposure is huge. I want to be exposed to new things, to bigger things, to greater things, to things that I will have never imagined. And this is to networking. This is to building the right community and the right tribe. So because of that, I'm being very patient and trusting God that at the right time, at the right moment, He will literally orchestrate the people in my life the same way He did with the people that are already in my life. So, yeah, that has been really, really tough. So yeah, I'll say those are the lows. Also, I think many times we don't talk about how scary it is to be obedient when you don't have all the answers. But you know what? I have realized that the scariest thing is you forfeiting your destiny because you decided to remain in the familiar. I will over and over and over again take the leap of faith even if I don't have the answer. Because I know that outside of that, on the other side, I will always get the revelations of the best version of me, the bigger version of me, because the person that we see ourselves to be today is not the vision that God has. Like when I look back, little Nina, I'm truly amazed about the transformation of God, you know. So I will encourage take the leap of faith. So the next thing is I want to talk about is staying in purpose. How do you know that you are in the right place even when things does not look the way you like have envisioned, right? So what I would say with that is, what if just because it is hard, just because the transition is tough does not mean that it is wrong. Because many times God usually call us to grow through the discomfort. So if you're going through the discomfort, the same discomfort that I'm going through, if you're going through the stretching, because honestly speaking to you, I told my friend, if I'm stretched any further, hey, I will pop, okay? So if you're going through the discomfort, know that God is preparing you from something bigger than you. And I also learned that when we pray for certain things, many times we're not ready for what we are praying for. Because to be able to receive what you're praying for, you have to become somebody different. And we hear this often, but truly, you have to become somebody different. And you have to let go of the old you to be able to welcome the new you. So if you are in a transition or navigating different seasons right now, I want to encourage you. If God is calling you to take a leap of faith, take that leap of faith, girl, or take that leap of faith, boy or man. But take that leap of faith. Take the leap of faith and know that God is with you. And just because things are not looking or working the way you want it to, does not mean that God is not working. And I have learned this through many experiences that his silence is a pure evidence that he's working something big out for you. He is cooking something that you could have never imagined. Nothing that your hustle and bustle will have never given you, like, will never get you to. You know, so stay the course. Stay the course, stay encouraged, and um, put a comment down below and let me know what have you learned about God's timing. And if you are in a transition, what are you learning right now? That was one thing that you have learned or God is teaching you in this season. In all, thank you so much for your time. Stay true, stay beautiful, and I'll see you soon.